Well, good evening. Here we are again. Welcome to another episode of Effing the Ineffable. I'm Lonnie Milbus, and this time I come with only a title. The title is I is for Infinite. Now, I'm sure everyone, when I say I, the self-referential I, everyone listening, in fact, everyone alive, everyone who speaks English anyhow, and can understand what that letter means, has a concept. When they hear that, I, there's something to which that alludes, that they can point to in themselves. And it, depending on the person's material disposition or spiritual disposition, the I can be more related to the body, to features, to personality, to things of the ego. But that is just where the I is focused. If you follow, when I say that I refers to the consciousness, that which is aware, I think you'll hear the ring of truth in that. That it really is just the awareness, the thing that is hearing I, to which I refers. And that I is consciousness, is awareness, is the witness of all that we experience. And it is our true nature. But where you focus the I tends to give the illusion to that as being the awareness. Such as if you're looking out for your eye, from your eyes, no pun intended, EYES, that the thing looking is what we're referring to as I in those moments. If you're making love, the sense organs, the kind of spinal electricity that's happening, all of the sex organs themselves, the smells, all of it, it's a very physical I, that which is experiencing that. And if you're at all an empathetic lover, maybe that empathy, that listening is the awareness, and that's where I can be found. But this is just scratching the surface of what I means. I is the subject. I is always the subject in every relationship throughout our lives. I cannot be objectified. It could go both ways. The I itself, the awareness, cannot be objectified. You cannot look at the awareness. You cannot experience the awareness. You can only acknowledge the awareness as being the experience itself, as being consciousness, as being the one self that can be referred, related. Now, it takes a great deal of introspection, years perhaps, definitely in my case, over 25 years of various types of yoga and magic and prayer and contemplation and study. But it behooves the practitioner to learn to discover what, or isolate individual components, to discern the ever-present I, the awareness that is always I, no matter what the perspective, from the temporary, and to examine the subtler qualities of the mind, the ego, the informative aspect, which the decision maker, understander, which is the intellect or the bodhi, the sense organs themselves, which all have their own particular idiosyncratic autonomies about them, and to be able to abide in the pure awareness without those aspects, and observe as those aspects try to cling to it and try to claim it for themselves, mostly the mental processes, such as when the I is expanded to everything, to someone we love, if we can look at them and realize they are not a part. Perhaps we can expand out to other things, to pleasant things and unpleasant things, learning to accept the pleasant with a gratitude, a quiet gratitude, and to endure the adverse or undesirable, I should say, events and experiences with an equanimity that just says, let go. Let go of the good. Let go of the not so good. Let go of all of those qualities and just be that awareness that is the true nature of I, of self. You expand and you realize the undivided and eternal nature of that. And having this experience, it has been common in my practice to watch the ego latch onto that and the thoughts to start spinning. Oh, you know what I'm going to do with this? Oh, man. You hear the ego talking and scheming, and it believes it's become that because its first function is to mimic that awareness. So as the ego mimics that awareness, it gets tied in with it. And then you have all the other aspects that are relative. Whereas the ego is mimicking awareness, but it's entirely built upon how it related with experiences in our lives. So the world basically builds the character of the ego. So you've got that attacking in those meditations, and as I said, it takes a lot of practice, but when you can recognize that and tell the ego, hey, no, that's not you, bud. You need to try to mimic that better and quit trying to bring all that baggage from the world into this. Quit trying to get or push away. Quit trying to attract or repulse. Quit judging the experiences. That I, in that state, if you can put the I there, when I say I to you, it is your true nature. And if you can put that I on that awareness and then let that go, because even that's a form, that's a name, that's a falsehood. At that point, when you let that go, you know the infinite. You feel it in your body, which is another whole head trip, because then you have to remind yourself that the witnessing of this temporary body is being done by this infinite awareness. And that it's okay to just feel that and experience the body feeling overwhelmed with the entrance into samadhi. That samadhi in particular But it is infinite. It was never born. It never dies. It is always who we are. It is always right here, right now. It is absolute liberation, what they call moksha. And it will teach you that all of these things, as long as they're goals to be strived for, are still nothing but forms and traps that keep us from the purity of our highest is a strange word, our highest ideal, our highest being. I'm going to use highest, most pure. But yeah, they are the final roadblocks that keep us from there, in addition to all of our attachments. Any attachment keeps us from that. It helps us, tries to assert its identity or its aspectness, and superimpose it upon that I, that infinite self that we are. And until we can just say let go to all of the desires, even the desire to lose desires, even the desire to push things away, or the desire to quell fear or avoid pain, all of those desires have to be released. And they're not destroyed per se, as they were never created. They're just resting in this illusion, like a video game that our true self plays. And our true self, being infinite, contains all possible, in other words, infinite aspects, infinite experiences, and it just shines upon the ones that it wants to focus on. And this is how we change our lives. This is the meaning of magic. This is the meaning of moksha, liberation, is that it's all moksha. It's all true will. It's all liberation. It's all love. And we're just kind of daydreaming in it. And we can choose to turn the shining, immortal, undivided consciousness that we are onto whatever we choose, whatever experience. And of course I can hear egos attaching to that, automatically thinking of the money that it's going to bring, and the love interest that's going to come crawling with our word. But there you go, that's ego again creeping up. That's not it. That's not the equanimity that is required for a truly liberated consciousness. It becomes less of almost none, I should say, of a trying, none of a wanting, none of a deciding. It's a surrender to the already controlled. And that's why I think the best words that are used to describe it is witness. The witness consciousness. I am witness awareness, experiencing the appearance of a persona called the Lonnie Milbus, recording an episode of Effing the Ineffable onto his cellular device. That this is all appearance. And it changes, it passes. It's nothing but superimpositions on this I really want to use the word stasis, but it isn't, because there's changing. But it is. It's not. It doesn't change. That is self. That is my true nature. That is your true nature. That is all true nature. And that is the infinity of I. I thank you for listening. I hope you've enjoyed this little meditation here. And I will hopefully be posting another soon when prompted by I.